student. Welcome to the class of data warehousing and mining. Today, in the previous day, we have discussed about the architecture of data mining. Today, we are going to discuss about various functionality of data mining. Data mining functionalities specify the kind of patterns to be found in data mining tasks. Depending on the functionality, basically we are going to find different pattern applying data mining application. So it is going to specify the kind of patterns. In general, it can be of two types, predictive and descriptive. What is predictive and what is descriptive? Predictive mining is basically perform inference on the current data in order to make the prediction. So in predictive, the current interference is basically performing on the current data. So by the predictive mining, we are actually going to make some prediction. On the basis of the inference, we are on the current data. We are actually collecting the current data, and on the basis of the current data, we are going to make some prediction. So this is basically the predictive mining. In predictive mining, we have various methodologies like classification, regression, time series analysis, prediction. So these are all examples of predictive mining. There is another way which is descriptive. So what is descriptive mining? Descriptive mining is basically characterize the general properties of the data in the databases. So here also we are going to collect the current data, and on the basis of the current data, the characteristics of the current data, the characteristics of the general properties of the current data which is present in the database is going to be collected, and then the descriptive mining is done on the basis of that. So what are the way? We have different way of descriptive mining. Those are association rules, sequence discovery, clustering, and summarization. So by the predictive mining, we are going to make a prediction, and by the descriptive mining, we are going to analyze the characteristics of the current data. So these are the two basic categories of data mining functionalities. Now we are going to discuss all these methodologies one by one. We are going to make a quick overview of all these methods. Later we are going to discuss about the methodologies in a descriptive manner. So firstly, we are going to discuss about classification. So what is it? So classification is a predictive kind of mining. Here we are going to find a model which is going to describe and distinguishes data classes for the purpose of being able to use the model to predict the class of objects whose class level is unknown. So basically, on the basis of the present data, we are going to make some classes. On the basis of the present data, we are going to make some classes. And depending on the classes which is already made, we are going to predict how unknown data are going to behave. How we can predict that? Because we have some different class of data already we have. Now we can actually know what are the behavior of those class of data, or whenever a data is come, we are going to make a classification on that data. That means the data is going to put on some in some predefined class. Now, the behavior of those classes are already analyzed because the classes are known to us. So, how the classes or how the data which is coming from those classes behave for a particular way in future, we are actually known. It is actually a known fact for us. Now, suppose because all those data are known to us, we have made the classes depending on the current data. Now suppose a new data comes. Now if we are able to put that new data in one of those current classes, if it can be fitted in one of those current classes, then depending on the behavior of the class, we can also predict about the behavior of the newly added data. That is basically the idea behind the classification. Now here you can see an example. Suppose we are trying to find if a particular person is eligible for having a driving license or not. So what are the data I am going to collect? The age of that particular person. Okay. So I know that, or the system know that, if the age is less than equals to 18, they are coming in a particular class. And if the age is greater than equals to 18, they are putting in a particular class. And if the age is less than 18, they are putting in a particular class. And we already know that if the age is greater than equals to 18, then they are eligible for having a driving license. But if the age is less than 18, then they are not eligible. We know that. Now suppose a person comes. We have no idea that the person is eligible or not. So what we are going to collect about that person? The age of that person. The system is going to collect, the system is going to ask what is the age of that particular person. So when the age is giving as an input, it can be clearly putting in one of these two classes. If the age is greater than equals to 18, then it is going to put in this class. And if the age is less than 18, then it is going to put it in this class. And now the result is known to us basically. If the data which is new for this system is putting in this class, now we know what is the result for that particular data because the result for this class is known. So we can predict that the person is going to have a license because they are eligible. If it is putting in this category, then we can also predict that the person is not going to have the license because they are not eligible. Now this method is basically decision tree. This is called decision tree, where you can see a tree kind of tree is going to be formed, and at the child node we are going to have the decision. Now this is basically another way a neural network is built for that. Here you can see some different inputs are given. This is input A, B, C, D like this, and for those inputs we are going to have the output as an integrated manner. Okay, so this is another way. So these are the ways of classification. We are not we are going to discuss these ways in a descriptive manner in the later lectures. Okay, so now what is classification? I think all of you have understood. Okay, now the next methodology, predictive mind, regression. So what is it? Regression deals with the prediction of a value. By regression, we are going to predict a value rather than a class. Now we are not going to make any class. Okay, we are going to predict a value. How? Regression is a data mining function that predicts a number. For example, a regression model could be used to predict child's height given their age, weight, and other factors. So in the classification model, we are going to put the data in a particular class, and depending on the classification, depending on the output of that class, we can predict the result basically. But in the regression, we are not going to do like that. We are not going to put any class, or we are not going to make any class. Okay, we are not going to make any group basically. Class means we are going to make a group. But here we are not going to make a group, but we have previous knowledge. Suppose in a particular age, if the weight of a particular person, we can collect many data like in a particular age, if a weight is X, then its height should be like Y, like this data we can gather. It is easily available data. So in this way, if we have a database for that on the previous knowledge, that is we have collected, now if a new person come and his age and weight is known, and some other factors are also known, that is depending on the mining application basically, we can predict the height of the data. So in this case, we are not doing any classification, we are not grouping any class, we are not making any groups. We are only predicting a number, the height of that particular person. Depending on some data like the weight, age, etc., etc. Those are previously loaded in the system, and from that we can predict a height of any new person. Okay, so that is basically regression. Okay. Now the next one is time series analysis. Now what is time series analysis? Time series analysis is basically, it consists of sequence of values or events obtained over repeated measurement of time. Now something is happened weekly, day by day, every day that is going on. Maybe hourly, maybe weekly. So some activities are going periodically in a repeated manner. The repeat can become in a week, the repeat can become in an hour, or it can become in a month, but it is going to be repeated in a measurement of time. For example, we can think about stock market analysis, economic and sales forecasting, scientific and engineering experiments, medical treatment. So where we have many cases that is repeatedly going on. For example, stock market, some values we are collecting, the stock market values is going to be ups and downs in a weekly and hourly manner, and for every weeks and hours we are going to collect the data. Now for that particular stock market, we are going to collect those data. Now what happened, if the data is collected from a timely manner, and then depending on those collected data, which is the current data now, we can predict how the market is going to behave in future by a graph like this. Here you can see, this is an example of a time series analysis. Example is for a stock market. So they can predict the future values by determining the similar patterns over time, by classify the behavior. You can see this is by the graph, it can be predicted. Okay, and it can also be considered as a sequence database, because a sequence is going to be observed. So the consist of sequence of ordered event. In this case, times can be optional. So web page traversal sequence can be an example for that. Now time series data can be analyzed to identify correlation or finding similar or regular patterns, trends, outlines. series. Okay, so this is basically the time series data analysis. So this is one of the way of prediction. Now another methodology is prediction. What is basically it? You can see we have data. The data can be collected, and it can be a current data or it can be a past data that can be collected, because future data cannot be collected. So on that we are going to apply techniques. And what we have? We have a futuristic data. We can have a predict analytics, identify trends, and recognize patterns. The prediction is a methodology where the previous data are collected, and then some techniques are going to be applied, and then we are going to have in output all these things. So this is a model of predictive analysis process. You can see this is a circle kind of thing. So data preparation, for we can start it from this. So we can define an objective for which the model is actually forming, because everything is done for a specific object. So we should define our object first, and then it is started, and then the data preparation according to the object can be done, and then according to that the system can be modeled, and then it's deployed, and then model can be monitored, and again a modeling objective can be defined, and in this way the circle can goes on and on. Okay, so these are all about prediction kind of mining. Now we are coming for association, which is not a predictive methodology, which is a descriptive methodology. So association is a very interesting thing. Association is a rule for analyze to uncover how items are associated with each other. So such uncovered association between items are called association rules. So when to mine association rules, scenario like that, suppose you are a sales manager, customer bought a PC and a digital camera recently, what should you recommend to her next? Association rules are helpful in making you the recommendation. So basically, on the basis of the past history of buying for a particular person or for multiple persons, okay, the shop or some organization can analyze the trends of buying, and then they can recommend that if you have buy this product is also recommended for you. You can see whenever you are buying something from Flipkart or some other online shopping portal, then whenever you are buying something, some recommendation is also going to come, and they are saying that pupils are often very oftenly buy this product. With that product you are going to buy. So from where the data is coming? They are collected the data from the past buying behavior of the customer. So according to the past buying history of the customer, purchase history of the customer, items are going to be associated with each other. When you are buying a bread, maybe a butter is also going to be necessity for you, or a jam. So it's going to become as a recommendation. So basically, with the help of the association rule, we can associate a particular product with other. So you can see here, whenever a person is going to buy the product like this, so these products are also going to be recommended for that particular person. Okay. So by the association rule, what actually we are going to do, we are going to associate some product with other product. And in this way, the customer are going to be interested for purchase many and many things. Okay, that is going to be helpful for the shopkeeper or for the organization. So that is basically the association rule. Now there is another way that is called sequence discovery. So given a set of objects, suppose a set of object is given and each are associated with its own timeline of events. Some set of objects is given and each object is associated with its own timeline of events. So we need to find rules that predict a strong sequential dependencies among different events of the form like this. Okay, so when some objects are given and suppose here A, B, C, D, E and then the F event is going to happen. So we need to find a strong connection like this. That is basically the sequence discovery. This after this event is going to occur. So this sequence should be discovered. Suppose for this example here you can see this xg is basically what? Max allowed time between consecutive event sets. What is ng? Ng is basically minimum required time between consecutive event sets. And what is ws? Ws is the window size. That is the max time difference between earliest and latest events in an event set. So event within an event set may occur in any order. And what is MS? MS is the maximum allowed time between earliest and the latest event in the sequence. So by the help of this parameter, all this parameter, we are going to discover a sequence that after that, which event is going to come. Clustering is another interesting methodology for a descriptive kind of mining. So clustering is a process of partitioning a set of data or objects in a set of meaningful subclasses called clusters. So here again, we are going to make a group. It helps user to understand the natural grouping of structure in the data set. So cluster is a very important terminology for this type of methodology. What is it? A cluster is basically a collection of data objects that are similar to one another and thus can be treated collectively as one group. So when we are talking about a cluster, that means in that cluster we have some similar kinds of data and they are behave in a particular, suppose for a particular characteristic, they are behave as same. That is basically the cluster. But as a collection, they are sufficiently different from other groups. That is also very much required. We cannot make clusters having same characteristics. One cluster must be different from other. So the two things is very much important whenever we are making a cluster. The first one is what? In a same clusters, the data objects must be similar. That means they behave similarly for a particular event. And another very important thing is what? For a particular collection, whenever we are collecting data from different structures, data objects are collected from different structures, then it must be differ in behavior. It must be differ in characteristics. So this is basically the cluster. Now what is clustering? Clustering is basically unsupervised classification. There is no predefined classes. Now that is very much interesting. We have learned about classification. In classification, on the basis of the past history, on the basis of the past data, we are firstly make a group, and then the data, new data, when the new data is come, then according to the behavior of the past data, we are putting that data in a particular group. So obviously we require some predefined knowledge. We have required some predefined classes, and the learning is done, that is purely supervised, because some knowledge are there in previous, and according to that knowledge, when a new data come, it is going to put in a particular class. But when we are talking about clustering, then all the data, that is all the data is available now this situation. We are going to make a cluster between them depending on their current behavior. There is no predefined classes are there. Whatever data is available now, on the basis of their current feature, we are putting them in different clusters. So there is no history kind of thing. So there is no previous knowledge or previous classes. So this is purely unsupervised learning, unsupervised classification. So the difference between classification and clustering is very much important. We are going to discuss this in this matter in later also. But now I try to give a brief overview about that. Hopefully you have understood. Now another very interesting thing that is coming in the descriptive category, that is summarization. Basically in the descriptive kind of mining, our main objective is analyze the current data and finding their characteristics. So summarization is a very much important. So it helps business and organization to understand a large scale data in a few lines or pages instead of reading thousands or millions of pages, because they are actually interested in some basic things only. They are, when they want to study a particular thing, basically they know what is that. But when they know what is that, basically they want to know why is that, who are performing on that, or who are doing that, when that event can occur, where that event can occur, and how that event can occur. So by the help of this why, who, when, where, and how, this what can be described. And the business and the organizations want to know these 5 things about this what in a less amount of time. So the summarization is very much helpful in this case. It helps speed up the business decision on time without losing any opportunity. So only the important things are summarized. Only the required things are summarized. Some points are summarized by the thorough analysis of data. So when we are studying only the summarized portion of data, then obviously we are very much easily grab the key point. So the organizations are very much in a very less time period can retrieve the important information from those data. For this reason, summarization is important. Data, you can see this is a summary general visualization steps are given when the data reduction. So how it is can be done, the data it can be discretization and dimensionality can be deducted. The behavior and characterizations can be found, and the pattern detection and outer detections are there, and then a summary is can be made. So these can be steps. Okay. So basically these are the various functionalities of data mining. So just a quick go through. In functionality, data mining can be classified into two types, predictive and descriptive. In predictive, we are going to predict something. For that, we have classification, regression, time series analysis, prediction. Okay, generally we have this. And for the descriptive kind of mining, the purpose of this kind of mining is what? Characterize the general properties of a data. And for that purpose, we have different association rules, sequence discovery, clustering, summarization. So these are coming all those descriptive category, and we have discussed about this methodology. So this is end for today's class. Hopefully you have understood. All these are going to be described later in a descriptive manner. Today we are only intended to describe all the functionalities of data mining. Hopefully you have understood the functionalities of data mining. So keep studying and be safe. Okay. Thank you.